This Ferrari 456 was a cheap, crazy purchase, sight unseen from across the pond. Advertised as a non-runner, I fell in love with the colour combination, and after checking with the seller that the engine actually turned over, I struck a deal and the car was shipped over to the UK. Upon arrival and a quick look around the car, I couldn't believe my luck when the non-running issue was a common problem where the fuel pumps get clogged up with the anti-vibration rubber pad in the tanks. £80 later, 2 new pumps and the car was back up and running, but unfortunately that was just the start of the 456 problems. We had everything from electrical problems, build quality issues, overheating, more electrical issues and service work. The list was never ending. However, truth be told, none of those jobs were actually too difficult, and with me doing it myself, it was all relatively cheap in Ferrari terms to fix. And throughout the videos we managed to save tens of thousands keeping this stunning Ferrari on the road, and we're nearly at the finish line. Just a couple more jobs to do. But one final question remains. Is there really such a thing as a cheap Ferrari? Is it a fairy tale or a nightmare? Let's find out.
In the last video we addressed that really dry shrunk lever on the parcel shelf, recovering it DIY style and making it look rather good. Today we're going to switch focus to the rest of the interior, so the seats and the dashboard, the door cards, and see if a little bit of Ratarossa magic can resurrect those too.
Now, working my way from the rear to the front of the car because of the tight access, and started off today with those headrests, giving them a quick steam clean. I'm going to let them dry and then I've got to hit the rear parcel shelf with one more coat.
Now I've left everything to dry overnight and it's all really good, but we've got a couple of fine lines in there where we are using the sponge, and that is the difference between using this and a kind of little mini hobby spray gun. You get a much better finish on it. Unfortunately, mine is not working at the moment, so we'll revert back to this old school method. But what I'm going to do is try and get rid of a few of those by hitting it with a second coat.
Job done on the shelf, and now it's time to move on to the seats and show you a secret trick on getting a perfect colour match.
Now, if you come on the inside with me here, you'll notice that I've got the seats out, or one seat in particular, and that is for a very good reason. If you check down here, we've got an overlap of extra leather that sits underneath the back seat here. And what we've done is taken a little offcut of that, and I'm going to send that off to get an absolutely perfect colour match for the interior leather colour there. Because if you look at things like the driver's seat, even though the leather is totally fine, there's no breakages, there's no tears, the colour has come off. So we're going to be sorting that out.
And a few days later, this is what's come back. A perfect colour match for my tobacco brown leather interior. Now I've already run a test and so far so good. I'm going to apply this with a fresh sponge for the different colour.
This day and age, our lives heavily rely on power. But when you're in a remote area or there's a power cut, what do? The solution is really simple. A Bluetti power station will fix all of those problems. This is the Elite 100 model with a 1800 watt output and a multitude of sockets for all your power needs. We've got 2 normal plug sockets, we've got 2 USB sockets, 2 USB-C sockets, we've got a car type lighter socket right there, and up the top we've got an input for a solar panel should you wish to hook one in and go completely off grid. All of that with a really easy and intuitive to read beautiful display. The Bluetti power bank is lightweight and extremely portable. Here's just 3 of the things I like to use mine for. When your house suffers a power cut, you want to make sure your essentials like your TV, your refrigerator, your internet and even your kettle all still work. And it's the absolute perfect companion when you're away camping and you need to stay mobile. When you're trying to do those remote jobs on your car and you've got no power source in sight, well, the Bluetti power station is absolutely perfect. Guys, Bluetti really do have some awesome bits of kit. Make sure you check it out yourself and grab one today by simply clicking on my link in the description below the video. And right now, there are some amazing Black Friday deals to be had on all Bluetti kit, up to 56% 50% off some of their range. So make sure you grab one today.
Now this is a fairly simple process. All I've got to do is take my time. Now I could mask up all of the black just in case I spill anything over, but instead I'm going to test how steady my hand is. And there you go, a few minutes later the transformation is complete. We've done both headrests. All we need to do is put it to one side now, let it dry and move on to the next bit. Onto those rear seat backs now, and well, they're pretty good condition, but they need a good cleanup. So what I'm going to do is just use some surface wipes and give it a good old scrub before we apply any product.
Okay, so what we're going to do here is just give the whole seat a very, very light dust over, and then where we've got a couple of little marks like this, I've tried to rub them out, they won't come out. I could probably go a little bit harder, but then I risk damaging and removing some colour around it. So what we're going to do is just build it up and just cover it over. Now as this goes on, you can see the colour is a slight shade different to the original. Looks a bit more like, well, diarrhea, right? But it does dry. I tested a patch. It's always good to test a patch. I tested a patch on one of the door panels that you can't see, and it dries absolutely perfectly. So super happy with that. And let's just get a bit more of that on there. Watch this. So we got a little scuff mark just there. I'm just going to go over that. And again, just build that up with a couple. There's a couple of little scuff marks there. And once that is finished, there will be no scuff marks. Just built up those little patches first of all. And as I go around the rest, it gives that a chance to dry. And then you can just hit it with another coat. I'm going to follow the same process with the rear seat bases. These are in actually very, very good condition. There's a couple of little marks which will rub out like this. And then we've got a couple of tiny, small little imperfections that this stuff will make mincemeat of, no problem at all. Just going to let that dry. Few little marks here, little spots on it, so try and get those out as best possible and then cover the rest. Now sometimes we've got some dark spots like this and these ones here where the colourant really will struggle to actually hide those. So what we're going to have to do is see if we can get them out with a little bit more of a harsh abrasive. So we're going to use this, I'm going to go real gentle on it. And then what I'm going to use is some alcohol cleaner. Oh, it's a stubborn one, that, real stubborn. But you can see it's come and it's taken it, but it's taken some of the colour with it as well. Now that hopefully is not a problem because we're going to blend that in.
I start by applying a couple of hand coats and then I've just managed to get my air gun working. If it's in a specific little spot, it doesn't work on the whole covering, but it's going to be perfect for covering up those bare patches. Back on the inside of the 456 and there's a quick vacuum of the carpets and then a cheeky little bonus job. The seat handles were looking a bit worn, so a nice coat of satin black to freshen them up and make them look good again. With the rear seats all dry now, I'm starting to install it back into the car. And just look at how deliciously good that's come out. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
What I'm going to do is just see how much of this black mess I can get off the seats just by using some wipes. Most of that is coming off, you know. It's good. See, that is all the way through, so that's the top coating. But if we can get the majority of this off, that will be really, really good. Makes my life a lot more easy. I think that is the nasty goo that they put in the doors, and somehow must have got on my trousers and done this. All right, most of that has come off. There's a couple of tiny little bits that I struggled to remove, but happy days. I'm going to leave all that to dry for a little bit, and in the meantime, I'm going to give the car a quick wash because it's very dusty and dirty.
The dash on the 456 is actually in pretty good condition, but I'm running over it with a very light coat just to touch in a few little blemishes. The reason I'm doing the dash first of all is so I can sit on the front seats. I then address the door coats with both the black on top and also the tobacco brown.
Now with the seats, it's just a case of taking your time, and it might need 2 or 3 coats. You just never know, especially in the worn places like this. We need to build it up, let it all dry, hit it with another coat until it completely disappears. You see how the colour is different, isn't it? It's slightly different. It's a lighter brown. But as it dries, it all blends in. It dries exactly the same colour, and that is the beauty of it. Now this bit where it's worn, we are really going to have to build up with a few layers. As you can see, the first one starts to look really good, but when you look closely you can just see it all coming through there still. So we're going to do this one, let it all dry, and then probably do this 3 or 4 times. Especially just really, this is the bad bolster. The rest of them are all really good on this car. And then if you look at things like this, obviously we've got to be careful because my seatbelt's in the way. I can move that, but I'm being lazy. As you can see, all those little scuff marks here, we can get rid of those quite easily, just blend them in. See what I mean? And they just disappear. I'm going to move that seatbelt in a second so we can do the rest of it, but just wanted to show you that. And again, if you look here, and again, these little bits where it's gone right back, we're going to hit those a few times. Just build it up. But the first coat, as you can see, does a very, very good job.
And there you have it, one completely refinished interior, looking a darn sight better than it did earlier in the video. And all that was achieved with about £30 worth of product. I'd say that was a job really worth doing. Now I'm almost ready to advertise the car, but want to run a few last checks to make sure everything is still working before we snap some pics and put it up for sale. The electrics are all now sorted on the car and the V12 is purring like a kitten. But put your foot down and that kitten quickly turns into a tire. I'm going to advertise it with all the extra service work and the jobs that we've done recently for just under £33,000, making it the cheapest 456 on the planet. I really do think the 456 is such an underrated, good-looking car. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.
Well guys, that is it. The 456 is finished. I've done everything I want to do on this car. It is a fantastic, lovely car, and it will not be my last 456. Unfortunately though, as I said in the last video, it's up for sale. It needs to go. I need to pay some bills, and we need to buy some parts for a future project. And guess what? From mentioning it in the last video, I had a ton of people inquire about this car. Unsurprisingly, a lot of them were from Europe because the car is left-hand drive. We had 3 people from Belgium, 4 people from Germany, 1 from North Europe, and a few people from here in the UK. And one of them is very, very keen. So it looks like the 456 is already sold. The 456 has left the rat cave. It's gone to a new owner who I hope enjoys it as much as I have. And that means that I am a little bit more freed up. We've got the 308 to finish off, which is the next project. But currently, Ricky is deep into the engine. SG Brothers are just finishing off all the bodywork. I'm going to bring you an update on that. There's not much I can do on the 308 at the moment. So I am now going to be focused back on the BBI, which I know will not disappoint you guys. Anyway, I hope you all did enjoy the series on the 456, me maintaining a cheap Ferrari on a very, very cheap budget, which means you can actually do it. And I think the 456 is the bargain Ferrari that really will go up in value. Anyway, thank you all guys for watching. I will see you all in the next one. Don't forget you can check out what I get up to on a daily basis around this place. And check out today's video sponsor, Bluetti. And until the next time, stay safe. Ciao for now.